With lots of players flooding into Trials of Osiris, I thought it would be helpful to go over a list of the top 10 guns you should be using to go flawless. I think it's always a good idea to have a lot of different options available. This gives the player the ability to adjust their loadout to fit their needs to succeed on any map. It reminds me of the saying, you want to have the right tools for the job. For example, you might want to consider using a pulse rifle on longer maps, but switch to a hand cannon when it's on shorter maps. This is why having a variety of options is great. And no, this list is not going to consist of 10 different hand cannons. I was able to select a variety of different archetypes and weapons. Also, this list isn't in any specific order, since some of these guns perform better than other guns on specific maps. But with that, let's get into the top 10 guns you should be using to go flawless. Trials can be such an intense game mode where you might catch yourself holding down lanes for long periods of time. Well, our first gun on the list is the Ace of Spades. This gun not only provides you with the ability to have an active radar while aiming down sights, but it also grants you bonus damage when the perk Memento Mori is active. Now, the reason this gun made the list is due to its accessibility and lethality. When the perk Memento Mori is active, this allows you to kill guardians with 1 critical shot and 2 body shots. But not only that, with majority of hand cannons seeing damage fall off between 26 to 30 meters, Memento Mori allows you to push the limits of the damage fall off, since your hand cannon will be dealing more damage further away. Overall, this is a great hand cannon with very little drawbacks. Up next, we have the new, yes guys, that's new in quotations, Trials of the 9 Pulse Rifle, the Darkest Before. This is a 540 energy pulse rifle that can be acquired by defeating the final boss in the Prophecy dungeon. It comes with perks like full auto, which is a huge benefit when it comes to fast firing pulse rifles. The reason this made the list is due to how efficient it is on all maps, regardless of the size. Now, it may not come with bonus damage perks, but with a larger magazine and full auto, you won't have the need for bonus damage when you're melting your enemies fairly quickly. Now, if you want a full breakdown of what roles you should be grinding for, or a guide on how to farm this weapon in 5 minutes, you can find it at the top of the screen now. On that note, if you're looking to farm this weapon with players, you might want to consider joining our Discord, where we have a channel dedicated to players who just want to farm weapons like this. Moving on to our next weapon on the list, all my PvE players will start rejoicing now. We have the Vex Mytho class. Now, this is an exotic energy fusion rifle, and with the most recent buffs to this weapon, this fusion rifle has risen to the top of the charts, and for good reason. This weapon fires faster than most auto rifles, and when you're combating your enemies, not only will you be dealing a significant amount of damage, but the amount of flinch you deal is noticeable. This exotic does come with the perk Temporal Unlimiter, but after going flawless with this gun, you might not have an opportunity to use this perk, but personally, you won't miss it. Side note, I don't have the catalyst fully unlocked, so I can only imagine how deadly this weapon is when the catalyst is unlocked. Now, I feel like this next gun on the list was made for Trials of Osiris, and not only does it come with cool Trials of Osiris ornaments, but the perks on the gun can really come in clutch in those 1v3 situations. And that gun is the Vigilance Wing, which is an exotic 5-burst pulse rifle. What really makes this weapon stand out is the amount of damage that you can deal on a single target. If you become really proficient with this gun, you can easily 2-burst your enemy, which is an extremely satisfying feeling. Now, this weapon does come with 2 perks that are geared towards the elimination game mode. With the perk Harsh Truce, when a nearby ally is killed, you gain health regeneration and increased movement speed. And with the other perk Last Stand, improve weapon performance and greatly increase recovery when its wielder is the last living member on the fire team. Both of these perks are extremely beneficial, and you'll see them active often when playing Trials of Osiris. This is a gun that does it all: damage output and perks that benefit you in the Trials game mode. Don't sleep on this gun if you're looking to go flawless. This is a gun that can stay in your arsenal for any situation. If you've been playing Trials of Osiris recently, then you know how annoying it is to go against a Warlock with an Arc Buddy. Well, this next gun punishes them for using that perk. We have the Risk Runner, which is an exotic 900 RPM SMG. At base, this gun falls in line with others of its archetype, but when the perk Arc Conductor is active, this gun feels like it's on steroids. This is a great option when going up against any player using any arc weapon or ability. When the perk Arc Conductor is active, the Risk Runner now becomes more powerful and resistant to incoming arc damage. Now, since this perk only lasts 4 seconds, it can be extended with each kill you get. But wait, let's add to that. The perk Superconductor makes Arc Conductor even deadlier. When the perk Arc Conductor is active, shots fired have a chance to chain lightning and it returns ammo to your weapon. I do want to give a little side note here. If you want to activate Arc Conductor without taking any enemy damage, you can always use an arc ability to cause damage to yourself. This will in turn activate the perk. It's pretty cool to do, but overall, you're still damaging yourself, so it's not something you want to constantly do. But this is a great gun when you're going up against those warlocks who have arc buddies. The next gun on the list we have is going to be the Thorn exotic handcannon. Not only is this gun deadly, but it can delay a revive of an enemy. And the reason for that is the exotic perk Mark of the Devourer, which causes damage over time to your enemy. With that perk, not only do you delay your enemy's health regeneration, but if they're trying to revive an ally, they won't be able to do so since your Thorn is doing damage constantly, damage over time. Now, in game modes like Trials of Osiris, delaying your enemy's health regeneration and delaying a revive is awesome. But what really makes this weapon deadly is the perk Soul Devourer, in which picking up a remnant left behind by a defeated enemy strengthens Mark of the Devourer and refills your magazine. With both of those perks active, you now have the ability to 2 critical shot your enemy if they are under 6 resilience or low light. And when it comes to Trials of Osiris, there are a lot of players who are under leveled and under light, so take advantage of them. Our next weapon is super deadly, but most of all, it's annoying as heck. Everybody hates playing against it. We have the Luminarch. Now, the Luminarch is an energy bow. And with the exotic perk Poison Arrows, arrows fired quickly after a full draw become poison arrows. Precision hits with poison arrows spread poison to nearby. You can pretty much classify this one with the Thorn. You're doing burn damage, which is going to delay your enemy's health regeneration. But not only that, doing burn damage, you'll delay them on the revive of an ally. But what makes this even deadlier is the fact that in Trials of Osiris, players love to group up and stand next to each other. If you land a poison arrow on one of your enemies, it will spread to nearby enemies. This is a great weapon to punish teams who love to stand together and team shot. But yes guys, this weapon does come with a few drawbacks. It is hard to get that full bow draw, and not only that, landing the critical shot. But if you can coordinate with your team, this is a great weapon to begin engagements, deal some damage, and have your teammates clean up the enemy. Now our next weapon on the list used to be extremely deadly. Shoot, it is still deadly. Even after several nerfs, this weapon is still annoying to go up against in the Crucible. Our next weapon, we have the Dead Man's Tail. This is an exotic scout rifle in the kinetic slot. This scout rifle comes with the exotic perk Cranial Spike. Chaining precision hits grants bonus damage and quickens reload speed. Now, the Dead Man's Tail is much different than your normal scout rifle. With those, you want to aim down sights. With the Dead Man's Tail, it is extremely accurate from the hip. What really makes this gun extremely deadly is the fact that you can use it in close quarter maps such as Anomaly, such as Endless Vale, and long range maps like Widow's Court and Distant Shore. Now, our next gun on the list is another SMG, guys. It's going to be the Multi-Mac CCX. Now, the reason I'm suggesting this weapon is because one, it can be easily farmed through Iron Banner, and not only that, it is deadly. It is one of the top SMGs in the game at the moment. And when I said you want to have an arsenal full of different archetype weapons, this is an SMG that can work extremely well on small maps like Anomaly or Endless Vale. Now, the multi-mac that I'm currently using comes with the perk Kill Clip, which is awesome for game modes like Trials of Osiris when there's only 3 enemies on the other team. By killing one enemy, you reload, you have Kill Clip active, and you now will be able to shred the next enemy extremely quickly. Our last weapon on the list is the No Time to Explain Pulse Rifle, which is going to be a kinetic 340 RPM pulse rifle. This exotic comes with the perk Rewind again. Precision shots and shots against combatants slowed or frozen by stasis will return to the magazine. Now let's add that to the next perk, Time Slip. At 10 stacks of Rewind, a small portal will open up, shooting bullets from an alternate timeline version of this weapon. Precision hits extends the portal's duration. Overall, this is a great weapon, and it feels like you have an extra buddy shooting along with you. If you are a warlock using something like the Arc Buddy or the Getaway Artist, this is another addition you can add to your arsenal. In Trials of Osiris, if you ever catch yourself in a 1v3 situation and you're utilizing Arc Buddy and the Time Slip, you'll have your one-man army right there with you. With that, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. This is just a few suggestions on weapons you should be using to go flawless. Remember, you can use anything, but if you want to go flawless easily, I highly recommend you check these weapons out. Also, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm BRAVExHERO and I cover everything PvP and PvE related. So if you're enjoying the content, feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications. But with that, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I'll see you guys in the next video.